What looks like a normal landing is often a silent battle between pilots, physics, and the wind.
Crosswinds are the invisible enemy of aviation, powerful enough to challenge even the most advanced aircraft.
Inside the cockpit, calm decisions must be made in seconds under extreme pressure.
Wind shear can steal lift in seconds, leaving pilots with little time to react.
In aviation, walking away from a landing can be the smartest decision of all.
From the ground, the struggle against the wind becomes impossible to ignore.
Crab angles like this are not a mistake. They are a calculated response to powerful crosswinds.
One-wheel landings are not a stunt, they are a controlled response to unstable winds.
A single gust at the wrong moment can change everything.
A bounced landing is a warning, not an invitation to continue.
Knowing when to stop is often the most important skill a pilot has. Before an aircraft ever lines up, the wind leaves clear warnings.
Pilots are not alone. Controllers track the same winds from a different angle.
Every extra attempt costs fuel, and fuel limits decision time.
Unstable. Go around. Flaps 20.
An unstable approach is aviation's clearest signal to stop and reset.
Declaring an emergency is not failure, it is discipline.
In extreme conditions, teamwork becomes the strongest safety system on board.
Stabilized. Continue approach.
Checked. Airspeed alive.
Every aircraft has limits, tested and defined long before it ever flies passengers.
Sometimes the safest decision is choosing a different place to land. What feels unsettling to passengers is often a carefully managed situation on the flight deck.
In aviation, the real success is not where you land, but how safely you arrive.
Weather radar gives pilots a preview of danger long before it reaches the runway.
Briefings become lifelines when conditions turn unforgiving.
We need to be ready for that crosswind component. Go around altitude is 10,000.
Confirmed. 10,000 feet.
Fatigue doesn't announce itself, but it quietly erodes margins.
In aviation, the safest decision is often the one that delays arrival. Sensors along the runway capture wind behavior humans cannot see. Landing gear is engineered to absorb punishment, but only within strict limits.
Alignment must be corrected before touchdown, or the risk multiplies instantly.
When conditions overwhelm automation, pilots take full control.
Accurate wind reports can change the outcome of a landing attempt.
Clipper 42, wind shear alert, expect significant turbulence on final.
Control does not end at touchdown, it continues until the aircraft stops.
From above, the wind's influence becomes impossible to deny.
Pilots train for failure long before facing it in the real world.
There is a point where skill must reel to limits.
Sometimes, survival depends on a decision made in the final seconds.
The final decision can come just feet above the ground.
Not every victory in aviation is loud or dramatic.
Every flight leaves lessons for the next one.
Gusts arrive without warning, demanding instant response.
When lift disappears, pilots must react instantly or not at all.
Aircraft wings are built to bend, not break. Safe landings depend on the runway as much as the aircraft.
Aviation does not conquer the wind. It learns to respect it.
Heavier aircraft respond differently to crosswinds, changing the entire landing equation.
Near the runway, airflow changes again, complicating crosswind control.
Directional control becomes critical the moment the wheels touch the ground.
Most successful flights end quietly, and that silence is intentional.
Runway excursions often begin after touchdown, not before.
Terrain can twist the wind into something far more dangerous.
Airspeed stable, sink rate decreasing. Approaching decision height.
Experience matters most when conditions turn hostile.
Rain doesn't just reduce visibility, it changes control.
100 above.
At decision altitude, hesitation is not an option.
Low light and strong winds combine to reduce every margin.
Those on the ground can see the danger even more clearly.
Rapid wind shifts erase predictability in seconds.
Low light and strong winds combine to reduce every margin.
Timing the flare correctly can mean the difference between control and chaos.
Those on the ground can see the danger even more clearly.
Rapid wind shifts erase predictability in seconds.
When the aircraft finally slows, the real relief begins. At night, pilots must trust instruments when the wind hides in the dark. When visual cues vanish, discipline and training take over.
Storm fronts don't arrive quietly, and neither do their winds.
Sometimes the safest answer is changing the plan entirely. The calm that follows reminds crews why discipline matters. Flat terrain offers no shelter when the wind accelerates across open land. Limits are not suggestions, they're lines drawn by physics. The flare is where crosswinds make their final challenge. When visibility fades, light becomes the final guide. Relief comes only after discipline has done its work. Coastal winds shift rapidly, leaving pilots little room for error.
Glide slope and localizer captured, stabilized.
Confirmed.
Stability is the final requirement before commitment.
Every flight becomes a lesson for the next one.
When wind suddenly fades, lift can vanish with it. When everything aligns, the danger quietly disappears.
Winter winds remove even more margin from an already delicate operation.
Control in crosswinds is measured in inches and milliseconds.
Warnings travel faster than storms if systems work as intended.
Mastery is not about bravado. It is about consistency.
From the ground, the margin looks frighteningly small.
In the desert, wind carries more than air. It carries the ground itself.
Speed becomes a safety buffer when the wind turns unpredictable. A go-around is not retreat. It is control regained. Sometimes the safest landing is the one you choose not to attempt.
From the tower, the risks are visible long before touchdown.
Clear to land, runway 27 right, wind 290 at 25, gusting 40.
When water meets wind, control becomes even more fragile.
In moments like these, control begins with the pilot, not the aircraft.
Smaller aircraft feel the wind faster and harder. Crosswinds don't stop at touchdown.
The loudest victories in aviation often end in silence.
Runway slope adds a hidden variable to crosswind landings.
At high altitude, wind and physics rewrite familiar rules.
Every hard landing is examined, not ignored.
In aviation, preparation never ends with a landing.
Sometimes the day ends without a landing, and that is success.
Even a small tailwind can quietly erase safety margins.
Trust between pilots becomes invisible, but essential.
Every second of flight becomes data for safer tomorrows. Every storm ends, but lessons remain.
Aviation safety is not dramatic. It is deliberate, disciplined, and quiet.